close what I had open so the camera actually shows up.
Uh,
There we go.
hello.
Hello. I'm wearing
Hi.
a hat because my hair decided it didn't want to cooperate, and I was like, well, that's why I have a pile of hats. So many hats.
So, it's Splatoon's 10-year anniversary, so we gotta create the most iconic video intro.
All right, I'll sit here and I'll let you do your intro. I'm not here.
Yeah. No, you gotta be in it.
No,
It's not gonna
I'm
be
not here.
it's not gonna be iconic without you in it. I don't know, like you've been doing this longer than me. How do we make the most iconic video intro?
I don't make intros in a lot of my videos. Things just start happening. Hey, this game's old and so are we. Hi.
Yes. We are both old. Even though there's like a 10-year age gap.
Oh, don't.
Almost 10-year age gap, but
There are people that have been around playing this game since the start that are now older than I was when I bought this game. And I bought this game late in the
yeah.
age range of people who play this game. So, duh.
Okay, but like for real, hello everyone. It's Sonic Kai here, and as we said already, it's Splatoon's 10-year anniversary, and I'm here with Vicvillon. Hello.
Howdy.
But yeah, we're just gonna have like a chill Splatoon talk session where I just like ask some questions and just sort of reminisce over the past 10 years. But
And
yeah,
mauled.
and malt. But yeah, sorry?
I think yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of like the Splatoon 1 Direct or something of the sort.
Something like that.
I'll be so real. I know everyone's always like, "Aw, man, I remember this, that, and the other thing from before this game came out." In the last couple of months before Splatoon was like a game that existed, I was busy trying not to flunk my first like. Oh, wait, let me unplug my camera so that doesn't happen during the actual.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
cool
probably a good
camera.
idea.
This is an editor, cut that out.
Cut that out.
Sonic. So Sonic Kai.
Editor Sonic Kai, make sure to cut that out.
Before Splatoon 1 came out, I was busy in my second semester of college, so everything just kind of happened, and then the game came out. Like, I got this game when I got a Wii U, the day that Splatoon 1 dropped. Like, there was no build-up. It was, hey, this could be fun. My sister wants it for her birthday. Her birthday's tomorrow. I'm gonna split it with my parents. Boom. Video game.
Nice. Well, that kind of like.
We're both addicted. Oops.
Well, yeah, that kind of like jumps the gun on one of the things I was gonna ask, but it's okay. But yeah, but like I mean, just how are you right today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my days, I go to work and then I come home and then I play video game and then I go to bed. So.
Very simple. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I gotta do most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I guess you already answered the what got you into Splatoon question. But
yeah, I'd be lying. Like some people have like I think very beautiful emotional reasons of why they got the game in the first place. I just wanted to buy the video game. I blew all of my money that I had basically at the time on that, which wasn't very much because I was an unemployed college student. So
yeah.
I was like, yoink.
Yeah.
This should be fun.
Yeah. So
I didn't know what I was getting into.
But yeah, I guess in a continuation of that, like what made you realize that this was something that you wanted to make content on?
That was more, it was a natural progression, I'd say, because when I was just starting out college, I was really into Pokemon. Couldn't tell, obviously. It's not like I have a Pokemon related username or anything. I definitely don't have Pokemon objects within my reach almost all the time. So,
Yeah.
it didn't fall on the floor. I got it. But, but, I used to watch a lot of Pokemon on Twitch, a lot of VGC, a lot of shiny hunting, and a lot of Generation 6 Wonder Trading. Ooh,
Mm.
everybody, ooh,
Ooh.
ah.
I don't know
That's
anything
honestly
about
how my
Pokemon, so this means nothing to me.
no! No! All right. The magic of wonder trading is you could have a live streamer get onto twitch.tv, get a box or two of Pokemon. A bunch of other people in the community would also get a box or two of Pokemon, a box being about 30 Pokemon, give or take, right?
Okay.
And everybody would like chuck those Pokemon into the abyss at the same time. Like the streamer would do a countdown and everyone would chuck a Pokemon in at the same time, and there'd be a good chance that you'd magically link up with another person in the community and get their Pokemon. People would
Oh.
give away Pokemon they didn't need, Pokemon that weren't perfect for their breeding projects, but someone else might be able to use it for theirs. Pokemon from events they didn't want, Pokemon they thought they were cool, and they would just do this for a few hours, and everyone would be like, "Yay, we're wonder trading! It's so fun!" There were people who built huge communities just based off of wonder trading Pokemon and also like training up Pokemon in part from those wonder trades. And that
Interesting.
sense of community in the Pokemon side was something I really liked.
Mm.
Fast forward about a year, oh no, watching people talk about Splatoon and play solo queue is actually pretty fun. I was your class A lurker. When I was watching Pokemon stuff, I was willing to yap. I felt pretty decently knowledgeable. I could do okay in the average like Pokemon gimmick tournament,
Yeah.
but I was not good at Splatoon. I was not good at Splatoon whatsoever. I was fighting for my life out there. I wanted S rank so bad, and I just couldn't pull it off. I've been playing the game for a good 6 up months, and I was just not the best guy at the game. But watching other people play the game, I tell people all the time, even if you're not good at the game, you can learn something from watching other people play. Like, better or worse, having multiple perspectives is so useful. So that's what I did. I stared at a bunch of other people playing the game and said nothing. And eventually, one thing leads to another, and I learn about Splatoon lands. I learned about lands.
That
You
was.
know me.
Yeah.
I'm really loud when it comes to lands. I tell people it can change your life. It changed my life.
Yeah.
I watched like one land stream, and it wasn't even like a real land. It was like we're raising money that's so we can put together a land type stream. It was a compendium for Squidstorm Boston. Or maybe it was at the land and they were raising more money to make it work. I don't remember. This was like almost 10 years ago. I'd be darned. This is like late 2016. So
Okay, wow.
for reference, we're jumping ahead here because honestly, a lot of my first year of playing Splatoon was me playing and enjoying the Splatfest and being really busy with college, but never dropping the game because I wanted to hashtag get good.
Yeah.
But not really knowing how to do that. And yeah, I was brave and I was actually talking to people in that live stream, and I was like, wow, I think this is actually really enjoyable. These people are nice. I want to be a part of that somehow, but I don't know how to be a part of that somehow. And I walked away from that stream being like, well, I guess if I want to be a part of that, I gotta like not be bad at the game, right? Which is totally wrong. This is the wrong life lesson to gain from this. I walked away from that being like, darn, if I don't become a competitive player, nobody gonna want to talk to me. And we all know nowadays that's not true at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Community has players of all skill types, but I was like, I'm not good at Splatoon like I am at Pokemon.
Oops.
So I did what any person would do, and now that I had a job, I spent all of my money again. Not all of it, but almost all of it on a capture card, which I then kept under my bed for 2 months because I was too embarrassed to actually use it. I was like, what are my parents gonna think if I'm sitting around recording video games? Why did I buy this? So I bought it, and I held on to it for 2 months before we're actually making a channel.
It's like always have those like awkward moments before you actually start where it's like where it's like you're just so insecure and it's like, oh my goodness, like what are people gonna think, like is this gonna like actually reach anyone, or all that stuff, like all those thoughts in your head. Like I had the same thing too when before I started my channel.
Honest, I wasn't that scared of putting videos out there because I had done that before. So
Right.
I've told people about this. So, but I don't know if you know, but when I was a little baby, a precious little teenager, I used to make Maple Store YouTube videos, and they got like 100 views. But I made like 24 of those bad boys. That's how I learned Sony Vegas.
Oh wow.
And I wasn't totally like new to the idea of uploading a video.
Yeah.
The idea of recording content though, and then uploading that was new and scary, because usually it was like I'm making this thing and making it with little piecemeal bits and animating it and chucking it online.
Yeah.
But the thought of recording my own gameplay and chucking that online was very different. So when I first started using my capture card, I ended up using it more as a tool for self-improvement, because in Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, there was no replays. Replays have changed the game. You don't need to buy a capture card anymore to be able to stare at your own gameplay. And I feel like enough people like don't use that as a tool to improve. It makes me so sad. Like I think if replays existed in Splatoon 1, I wouldn't have actually became a content creator, because I never would have bought a capture card. I could have done my own self-study and hashtag gotten good without it.
Yeah.
Instead of watching people play Tenatech when I was playing Dual Squelcher and wondering why it didn't really work the same way it did for the other people. Weird.
I mean, hey, I think it's good that it worked out that way, because we got one of like the best content creators on the in the Splatoon community, I'd say.
Right now, do you think I would have ended up making Pokemon content? I wonder if I'd be doing anything. I really do wonder. I really wonder what would I be doing right now if I hadn't blown my wallet up twice.
Yeah.
Don't spend all your money on things, fellas. Don't follow Victoria's example, by the way.
Yeah.
Some good advice.
Yeah. But you mentioned that you wanted to, you know, get good so you can go to a LAN. Like, you want to tell us a bit about the sort of experience you had with the first LAN you went to?
Long Island Splat 2017. It's like August. I'm gonna say, I think it was like August 2017. Now, back then, obviously, this is like S2 had like just came out, so a lot of people don't have like Switches still.
Yeah.
And or Splatoon. You know, Splatoon 2 came out of the gate like pretty strong anyway.
Yeah.
But finding people to come together to play a game, especially a new game, is hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in Long Island. Like the venue was not in New York City. Now we have a really good like New York City venue and everything. It's ran by different people than the people that ran Long Island Splat, who were also great people. But almost none of them were from Long Island anyway. Don't ask me how that one happened. But a lot of the people that were on that team were not from the local area. God bless them. They came out so many times for us. And love the Long Island Splat team. Love you, GSM.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't a lot of teams at this first event, and there were a number of people who didn't have a team in the first place. Like, you know, LANs are a lot of pickup culture. You befriend people and you play with them.
Yeah.
And here I am. I stumble into the Discord server. I don't know anybody. I see there's a few people who haven't found a team yet. So in my infinite bravery and wisdom, I at all three of them, and I'm like, we could just play together. And they say yes! And they say yes!
Yippee!
Shock and awe, that actually worked. I didn't expect it to work.
Yeah.
Now I have teammates for the event. Life is great. Because I had a comp team in regular, like Splatoon, But like
Yeah.
none of them were local. I wasn't gonna be like, hey guys, can you guys come to Long Island and like play with me at this Long Island event? Please come from your faraway states. You wanna. So no, well that was never gonna happen. But you
Yeah.
know what? One of those people is on my LAN team like all the time still. Gabe's on my team for like every Dapple stream. Not stream, sorry. Every Dapple tournament.
Yeah.
And one of the TOs, Pico was also on that team. People
Oh, wow.
stuck around. There
Yeah.
are so many people that I know that have been around since like the 2017, 2019 Long Island era that still come to stuff. And it goes to show how much those events can like have an impact on a person. I remember how those games went at Long Island Splat 2017. I think we won one game. We won one game because it was Rainmaker Moray. And, the way you win Rainmaker Moray is whichever team manages to mad dash the Rainmaker up that far away wall has a pretty good shot at actually getting the win. We were the guys that did that. That was our one.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I was just there to live in the moment, but it was nice to win a game. It felt good. Like to this day, I've seen it happen. Like, I think it was a couple of Big Dapples ago, like maybe a year ago. There was a team that was built of mostly like young kids who had been for the most part spectating the first year of the LANs we've had in the city. And I think they won one game, and they were losing their marbles. They were like 5 feet behind me, and I was like, I know that feels.
Yeah.
Makes you so happy.
Yeah, it's always nice seeing the like happiness in other people when they accomplish something. It's always nice to just watch. I like watching other people be like excited about things. But I think if we could back up a little bit, you were
Yeah,
you.
I know, just jumping around. My brain is like.
No, it's
so
good. It's good. I like hearing all of this, but what's can you tell us a little bit about like your first like experiences in the competitive community just in general, like when you first started getting into competitive or trying to?
I mean, I guess the way I went about that is I kind of came to realize that I was going to actually have to play only one weapon. Because, at the time, individuals were mostly known for being good at one thing. You had outliers, but most people, like, they were good at a specific thing, so you tried to find people who needed someone who played that specific thing. The first team that I tried out for, I was like, okay, they need a backliner, so I'm gonna just play Jet Squelcher, because my favorite weapon was Dual Squelcher. But, like, Jet Squelcher was always just hashtag better. It had the burst bomb, it had the Kraken, it could reach across the map, it could ruin things. I'm like, if I'm gonna be able to do well in a tryout, it's gotta be with this.
Yeah.
Leading up to the tryout, I actually barely played the game because I was scared that if I lost my S+ rank, which I was holding on to by a thread, they were not even gonna consider me again.
Yeah.
Fear brain. That was not the case at all. Obviously, your gameplay matters much more than if you can hold on to a rank.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like, oh no, I gotta be S+.
I gotta hold on to the number. I gotta hold on to the big number.
Fearful. I was like,
Yeah.
there are a bunch of adults. It'd be fun to play on a team with a bunch of adults. It'd be a really good time. Anyway, back then, the way tryouts often worked is you would hop into a scrim, fight another team. And they'd see how your vibe fits with them. We ended up playing against a team that had probably one of the best backliner players in the community at the time.
Oh.
Very funny. Comedy ensues.
Yeah.
I don't think that I played excellently, but they took me anyway. Da 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 da.
Woohoo!
Da, 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 da.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay!
I blinked my eyelashes very lovingly. And then I had a good time. We didn't really play in many tournaments, honestly, over the course of that team existing. But it was a really great. It was a really great way.
Really
great way. Oh my god! Now that I'm joking about my own.
Turning
my
into
own mistakes, I keep doing it. No.
Turning into Smollusk now.
It's like a really great way to meet some people. But the people in genuinely were very nice. It was a lot of like mechanic practice and a lot of like improving and a lot of like call out shenanigans. But it was
Yeah.
a great first team in the sense that it was half serious and half like to have people to interact with, and that's what you need when
Yeah.
you're in like a team of slightly older individuals. I feel like is
Yeah.
that like it becomes like a thing where you're able to play the game with people and not have it overtake you to the point where you can't do what else you have to do, because a lot of the team that I was on, a lot of them were either in college or had jobs. So we
Mm-hmm.
played when people were optimally available, and it was really nice because when Splatoon 2 came around, because I got on this team in like April May-ish 2017, and then
Okay.
Splatoon 2 came out like 2 months later.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to jump into the next game with other people and experience Splatoon 2 alongside them. And
Mm.
that made the experience of playing S2 so much more different for me.
Yeah.
Like, Splatoon 1, I came in alone, I played with my sister, we jumped around and we did flips. Splatoon 2, I hopped in already on a team, ready to learn and become a better player alongside them, and it was awesome. Splatoon
Yeah.
3, I was locked into being a content creator. Every single time, it's been so different for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it's I remember I kind of had like a similar start, but I started with Splatoon 2 where I actually just recently made a new friend like IRL, and we were trying to like cuz he was also like really into playing games. Um he like grew up with like all the like old consoles, like the N64, NES, Genesis, all that old stuff, and then like he would just continually be getting the new consoles. And at the time he was really into Splatoon 2, so for a game for us to play together, I was just like, all right, let me ask my mom, and my mom let me get Splatoon 2, or she bought Splatoon 2 for me. And so that was kind of just a game that the two of us would just play together. It would either be like Turf War or like Salmon Run. A lot of Salmon Run. He really liked Salmon Run.
It is peak, so.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm
like the magic of Splatoon, is that every game is so short. If you have like 10 minutes of free time, boom, that's 2 games of Turf War you can play before you go do your homework or something. It's so easy.
yeah, yeah. But on the subject of Splatoon 2, like what was your reaction when that game got announced or released? Like, did you expect Splatoon to get a sequel, or did you think it was just going to be like a one and done situation?
Aware enough that the game like was really popular in Japan to the point where I kind of was hoping it would get more game. Like, I feel like I was really entrenched with college, so I was kind of just playing stuff. Splatoon did a really good job at getting me out of Pokemon for a while because I was really into Pokemon in Gen 6, and then in Gen 7 I totally fell off. Like,
Yeah,
in my brain it was like, oh, I gotta pick one, I guess. And right now my brain is picking Splatoon. But
yeah,
now I like enjoy both of them again. But there definitely was a time period where it was like very heavily like, if I have free time, I'm going to be playing Splatoon. Like, I'll play Splatoon when I'm home, and I'll bring my 3DS with me when I'm like at college. I think like the thing is that in reality, I didn't really have to wait too long for confirmation that they were doing much.
yeah,
Like, with the Splatoon franchise, because the Splatoon 2 like announcement was in the Switch Direct.
yeah,
So by January of 2017, like, we already knew it was happening. And at that time, that was when I was actively trying to get better at the game. That's so I could play the game competitively. So this announcement of the Nintendo Switch having another Splatoon, I think made me want to keep playing more. That's so
yeah.
like my efforts could be pushed into a newer game. Like, in my mind, it'd be a great time to meet people because
Mm-hmm.
that'd be a new game with new people to possibly make it. Because at this point, I wasn't on
Yeah,
a team yet, but like
yeah.
it would be a way to like be a part of the community in a way that maybe I really wanted to try and accomplish.
Yeah, I definitely think Splatoon 2 was probably like the best time to like get into the community and like meet people, because like I feel like that was when like
The
the
console was new.
yeah, but it's like also like Splatoon itself I feel like was at a sort of peak at that point. Or like just getting to that peak to where like a whole bunch of new people were getting into it, cuz like really Splatoon 1 was kind of like the last game on a dead console. So it was kind of like it was good.
Dude,
It
I mourn for people who had to use Wii U's at LANs.
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to experience that for myself, but I'm very thankful that people were fighting for it.
Mhm.
I just couldn't. I just can't imagine it. Like,
Yeah.
with stuff like Smash, you just need one Wii U and a bunch of controllers.
Yeah.
Splatoon requires everybody to have their own console.
Yeah. It's crazy how dedicated the Splatoon community can be when they really want to.
We've came so far. Like, Splatoon 3 has only, like, widened the community even further. The sheer number of LANs that exist now, the amount of effort people put into, like, meeting more people, the wide range of weapons that actually work in this game at a variety of levels. Like, obviously, there's always room for improvement, but I feel like people have, like, seen how much better, like, things can be and where they can go from here. And it's really nice to see.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like it's only gonna get better from here. Like when we start getting to Splatoon 4, like I feel like that's gonna be like a huge step when we get Splatoon 4.
I feel like a lot of the people who played 2 but didn't play comp in 2 are old enough now to play comp in 3. And that is kind of like helped them jump in more. Since, they're not 12, 13, 15, 16. Like some of these people maybe were like, dang, man, I really wish I could do X, Y, or Z, but I'm just really young or really nervous. And maybe now they're like an older teenager or a young adult, and they can make that jump. And because they know how it feels to be like that, they can also work to make it feel more real and more safe for people who maybe are younger who are also thinking about making that jump someday.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I probably would have gotten into comp in S2, but the fact of the matter is, I didn't even know it was a competitive game. Like, I was one of those people that kind of just, like, saw the Squid Kid trailer and was like, okay, this is just a game for kids.
Yeah.
So then when S2 came out, my friend, or when I met my friend, and he was just like, oh, we should play Splatoon 2, and I'm just like, so, but I was just like, all right, fine. It's like, it's something to play, so why not? So, I got in, and, it was fun. I think it wasn't until Octo expansion that I realized, oh, wait, there's actually so much more to this game than I thought. So, like, that kind of, like, sort of triggered, like, a whole, like, hyperfixation. Like, I was looking at, like, a bunch of, like, Octo expansion stuff mainly because, like, I was, like, so intrigued by the lore. I think that's excuse me. I think that's actually where I first found your channel. I don't remember if it was like a video or a stream, but it was
It would be an Octo expansion video or stream because I actually didn't finish Octo expansion until like a year had went by from when it originally came out.
Well,
I mean, what?
Well, I don't think it was Octo. I think it was a Splatoon something. I don't remember exactly, but it was a Splatoon something.
I think Octo expansion like got a lot of people to have interest in the game again.
Yeah.
So it kind of like I think that's more or less probably where things went.
Yeah.
People kind of jumped in again. They were like, "Oh man, the Octolings. Oh man, this DLC is kind of wild and wacky." It kind of changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And also, I think Nintendo at that time, the game was still very new, so they had time to also double down on putting more out.
Yeah.
Like Splatoon 2's update cycle, I feel like got faster after Octo expansion because Octo expansion was so early in Splatoon 2's development. Which is why, like, they were like, hey, now that that's all done, boom, Explasher! And I love Explasher! I was bouncing off the walls,
Yeah.
Expo, Blob Blobber, ooh! I had been
Oh,
living my
Blob.
best life as like a machine player for like 5 months, and as soon
Yeah.
as they gave me more buckets, it was so over. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I had never had came so close to obliterating my wrists as I had hyper aiming with Explo like my life depended on it. Every single bucket slosh had to be perfect, and my wrist reflexed to make
Oh
sure I was
boy.
missing nothing.
Yeah.
Oh man, don't do that.
Yeah, don't wreck your wrists over the game. Make sure you loosen up a bit every once in a while. But yeah. Yeah, Octo expansion
Daisy
was
Victoria would have
definitely.
been would have liked to have been privy to that advice. She
Yeah.
was locked in.
But yeah, Octo expansion I think really was a turning point in the franchise a lot. Just people real I feel like Octo expansion was when people realized the potential that this game series could have, and you know
What a good
it
fiance.
it was like it was crazy.
Hmm.
um but yeah,
I
so then
remember.
sorry.
Oh no, I'm just trying to. I never can remember the exact timing of like stuff that happened around Octo expansion. I have this like very specific memory in my head of either when it was first announced or either when it was first teased. Shame. This is a shameful admittance. I've told people about this before. Is that I totally sat outside of a classroom that I was supposed to go into to watch whatever direct was related to Octo expansion.
Oh,
I like
that's funny.
I went in afterward. I was like, okay, I've gotten my Nintendo info for the day. Hooray! Now I have to
Yippee.
think about that for the next hour. Oh boy.
Yeah, I got to miss half the class. Now I get to miss the rest of the class just having it in my head.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Yippee!
I was a woman with a love for Splatoon, a heavy laptop in my bag, and a desire to miss class.
I feel like that was all of us at some point in time. But yeah, and then
Don't
so
do that, chat.
yeah, don't do that. But you know, that it
Just
is.
because class doesn't take attendance doesn't mean you should take advantage of that.
Yeah, stay in school. Otherwise, you end up like us. I mean, granted, I feel like you actually have like a decent job, but
I mean, I got my degree.
yeah.
My grades would have probably been a little bit better if, in my graduate school time, I didn't become a YouTuber, but they weren't that much worse because I have standards I hold myself to, and if I started not being at them, I would just stop streaming. My streaming schedule was so inconsistent that first year and a half because
Mm-hmm.
if I had too much going on, I was like, nope, no stream and nothing. I'm out of here. I used to sometimes I'd be on stream, I'd just be molding whatever I had going on.
Oof.
I would basically stream whenever I wasn't needed to be at college and whenever I wasn't working. So
Yeah.
it was often early in the day, and it'd be like I usually daytime streamed like 2 hours of like solo or PBs because that's all about my laptop could handle.
Yeah.
My poor computer. Oh boy. As I was getting close to finishing graduate school, this is 2019 now. My poor computer, my poor laptop. Those fans did not want to live another day.
Yeah.
They were fighting for their life out there. I had a giant pad underneath the laptop that I would lie on top of my legs as I streamed from my couch because that was the only way that laptop was functioning. That thing used to overheat, and then I would take my overheating sad laptop and throw it on top of my cold washing machine where it would sit for 10 minutes, cool down, and then I would go live again. Like, okay, guys, I'm back. My laptop works again.
That's
If that isn't
awesome.
dedication to the game, I don't know what is.
I actually had a similar thing. Like I had like a laptop. It's actually sitting next to me right now.
You didn't kill it. I'm so proud of you.
I mean, it can't handle anything other than just being a second screen to see if my stream is running properly on YouTube. But
Oh, that's actually smart.
yeah, but yeah, other than that, like I don't really use it for anything because it's like. But yeah,
Begging for mercy.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's at that point yet, but it's definitely getting there. But you know, I make use of it where I can. You know, I try to get the most out of things that I buy.
I remember we had a house guest over. I know this is off topic. Like, and I was like, oh, if you need a computer, you could use my laptop. We tried turning it on, and I mean, it turned on. It turned on. Pop open the desktop, covered in all of my icons of stuff that I have from like an eon ago. I was like, yeah, just click on Google Chrome. It'll open eventually. 10 minutes pass by. It finally opens. I'm like, see? It works.
Jeopardy music starts playing.
I
Yeah.
can't believe I lived like that. I mean, you know.
Hey, you gotta start
do.
somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. But
I was streaming at 720p 30. Splatoon in a dream.
yeah.
It goes to show, though, people, you don't need to have the greatest equipment in the world to stream a game.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good personality, and, like, you have a few friends in the live stream to, like, keep some energy up. It goes a really long way.
Yeah, like I find that really helps me too, because like I'm not a very talkative person when I'm on my own, but if I have people that I can like bounce off of, I feel like I'm a lot more entertaining that way.
You and, you know, to sound really corporate here, it brings the best out of the content.
Yeah.
It makes it better. You gotta know what works best for you. That's how you can make your streams better and your experience better. Because as like the content creator, it's not fun if you're not enjoying what you're making, right?
Yeah.
Like, why dedicate years to making videos if every time you hop on stream you're not happy, and then when you hop off stream you're also not happy?
Yeah.
Like, if you have a couple of friends that are willing to, you know, VC with you on occasion, it gives you something to look forward to too, especially when you're like just starting out those first like couple of years.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely what helped me a lot, cuz like before I was like just doing like small gameplay videos on my own, and it was fun. I liked it, but it wasn't until I had that like first collab video with a couple people that actually ended up being my competitive team, and like one of them is still on the team to this day. It wasn't until that video that I like really enjoyed making content, and I think that's when I realized like, hey, I think I want to be a Splatoon YouTuber. I don't want to do Sonic anymore. I'm just gonna be Splatoon.
You hold the name with you.
Yeah, I still, because it's what I started out with. It's been my online name since the beginning, like, so you know.
I've changed my name like 5 times.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, Vicvillon is like the longest I've stuck with a name. Like, I used to be jumping around every like franchise that I hopped into. I was a completely different person. I was like, okay, I'm this, and then I'm that. But then before this one, I had a name that I had for like a few years straight, so that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Like when I was in Pokemon, because I was like juggling a few things at that time between like Pokemon and like Nuzlocke shenanigans too.
Yeah.
Golden age of Nuzlocke. I mentioned in my YouTube chat just yesterday the Nuzlocke forums, and they all just stared at me like, what do you mean you were using forums? I'm like, yes, that's what you did back then. If you liked the thing a lot and you wanted to interact with people who liked the thing, there was no streaming for it, because that was still relatively, you know, not a lot of people were live streaming. Live streaming Pokemon games on the DS? Do you know anything about live streaming 3DS games? You want to know how live streaming 3DS games works.
Yes, I feel like it'd be very funny.
The 3DS has no capture software within it.
Okay.
There's no way to live stream a regular old 3DS. So you have this thing in your hands and you're like, how do I live stream from this, right?
Yeah.
Is there were like 2 or 3 people out there who were really good at soldering. So you would send your poor, dear, innocent 3DS off to some guy who would then attach an object to it which would act as a capture card, send it back to you, and boom, now you could live stream from your 3DS.
Oh wow. It
It was
was
a
like
free service.
it was a whole process.
It was an ordeal. I'm pretty sure there's still like a person or two who does this too, like to this day.
Uh-huh.
Because getting your 3DS to be a capture card device, you can't just buy a 3DS and do it. You gotta solder a thing onto it.
Yeah.
Good times. Some people have multiple of them from like that era. I never sent my DS off to do that because back then I was like I would never live stream. I just like watching stuff.
Yeah. Little did you know.
Well, did 18-year-old Victoria know?
Uh,
I'm too nervous for that. I'm a big baby. And I really continued that philosophy for a long time. When I first started streaming back in 2018, I wasn't using a camera. I didn't even have a microphone. I was using my built-in mic on my laptop. But people just liked being there. I think honestly, I was just kind of in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
It was a time period where a lot of people were still relatively new to the game because the game had only been out for like 6-8 months. So people were, looking for more people to watch. And I was playing in a time zone that was very NA and EU friendly.
Yeah.
So the cards kind of just fell in the right place. I really do think I was lucky.
Yeah.
Like, more than anything else, because I was also very nervous. But I genuinely wanted to get better at the game, and I wanted other people to have the opportunity to get better at the game from listening to me yap. I might have been a low-level competitive player, but people always forget that low-level competitive Splatoon is still better than like 99% of the players in the community will ever be. Like, when you talk about casual players, most people never will touch the game competitively.
Yeah.
And even those that do, a lot of them probably won't ever join a team, like, in the long run. Having any level of experience back in that time, like, elevated you to a point where people were like, okay, maybe I will listen, maybe I will learn. And I wanted to use that to be able to help people, and people like that. So
yeah.
It just kind of worked out. Like, I don't think people should be scared of talking about their things and talking about how they see the game, even if they're not at a high enough level, per se.
Yeah.
There's only, like, so many people out there that are willing to share their experience.
Yeah.
Like, you can be a part of that humongous shared experience. Someone might be able to learn from your perspective. Like, someone might discover your VOD 4 years from now and listen to it and gain something from it, and you will be never the wiser. But the only way you know is by starting.
Yeah. And I mean, like, even too, like, it's still low level. That's gonna be, like, pretty much everyone's introduction to comp. So, like, having those people that in low level that talk about the game, like, that can be very valuable in and of itself just to get people started, too.
People, like, have really good know-how. They just aren't mechanically good yet. Like, I can talk about the game all day long, but a good sploosh that can run around in circles, I'm going to embarrass myself, and I'm going to miss for 10 seconds, and then I'm going to die. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
My mental is very good. My positioning is decent. I have lots of experience. I know how people think. I know where people want to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't hit people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just the war of the world.
Yeah.
It's a mental game. Splatoon is massive checkers. You're playing checkers all the time.
Yeah. So then I guess jumping to Splatoon 3 coming out now, like, what was kind of your sort of vibe going into Splatoon 3, or like how did you feel finding out Splatoon 3 was going to be on the same console and all that?
That I didn't have to buy another one.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest things, like, hopping back to S2 for a second, like, that first chunk of time where I was streaming S2, and this continued through, like, basically through 2020, is people being like, ah, man, I'm so glad there are so many people that stream Splatoon 2 because I can't get the game. The Switch is expensive, buying a game and the Switch is expensive. Like, not everybody and their brother has $360 plus tax to drop on getting a console and getting a game.
Yeah.
And even if you wait a year or two, people still sometimes don't have that money. Like, there are bigger priorities for some people. They would rather just watch and not get it. And it was always great over the years to see people like, Vic, I finally was able to buy a Switch. I can finally play Splatoon. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
yay. Like, seeing people make that jump, you feel really proud of them because you know that, like, they were waiting for that moment for so long to finally get that. And I think
Yeah.
Splatoon 3 being on the same console was a big relief to a lot of people because a lot of people were worried that Nintendo was going to rush along a Nintendo Switch Pro of sorts and
Mm-hmm.
then dump S3 on that as like some kind of like near release game,
Yeah.
which isn't what happened, but quite a few people did like think, "Oh, that would make sense because
Yeah.
Splatoon is a system seller. Whenever S4 comes out in like another year or two, probably people are going to buy the Switch for Splatoon. I know people who are like, I don't need the Switch 2 right now. It doesn't have Splatoon. I only really want to play Splatoon and a few other random games. I can buy ZA on the Switch one. I can buy. I already have Jamboree. I can play Mario Kart 8. It's not like the game's gonna die when World comes out.
Yeah.
It's the same way people felt about Splatoon 3 sometimes with Splatoon 2. Like, oh, I don't need Splatoon 3 right away. I have Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 2 is not going to die right away. And Splatoon 2 didn't die right away. It took a long time for people to, like, be mostly off of that game.
Yeah.
Having put 4,000 hours into Splatoon 2, I was like, oh, thank God. I can play something else.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't love Splatoon 2. I still do. But it was just so exciting to finally have something new and something different. When that Splatoon 3 like first gameplay Splatfest happened, I streamed that bad boy for 10 hours straight. I didn't want to stop. And then when I stopped streaming, I took a break, and then I made an Australian alt account so I could keep playing more. I was in it. It's really funny. The weapon that has taken me across all 3 games, probably even more than my bucket shenanigans, is just the heavy splatling.
Yeah.
From when I was in Splatoon 1, before Splatoon 2 came out, I told myself, you know what? I should probably learn heavy because when Splatoon 2 comes out, there's going to be a bunch of noob babies that are only going to play juniors and rollers and little baby short-range weapons, and I can outrange all of them if I play heavy. Like, as if I don't play Jet Squelcher, I was like, no, I got to learn heavy splatling. Dropped it immediately when 2 came out. And you know what I played for, like, a decent majority of the time in that Splatoon 3 game test fire? Heavy. It was the only weapon with Wavebreaker. It was calling out to me.
That's awesome.
Some things never change.
Yeah. This was kind of like the point in time where you kind of like switching off of comp and like just doing full like YouTube stuff, right? Or
for me, I like jumped off of comp in late 2020. That was around the time where I was I had gotten a job when I was almost done with graduate school.
Okay.
And after I was done with grad school, it became my full-time job. I ended up joining a different competitive team a few months after that, so I played with them for about a year and a half while also holding on to this job that I had in grad school. But this job from grad school kind of was not awesome. Like it didn't really pay that great. And on top of that, it really wasn't what I wanted to do. But unless I had more time to like double down, study, and make things look better, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to really get a job that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I made the active decision because I was doing comp, I was having my job, and I was, being a live streamer still because this is like late 2020,
Yeah.
We're thankfully over the worst of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Not
can't be too specific because YouTube might not like that, but
or at least beyond the worst of it, hopefully, smiley face emoji. And I had been back physically at my job for a number of months, and I kind of was like, dang, I think if I want to be able to get a different job, I'm gonna have to quit comp, that's so I can have some time to do what I need to do to get a different job, to apply for things, build a resume, do interviews, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I waited out like the rest of our Ludi season, and I waited until we found teammates to replace me, and then I said my farewells, and I haven't been on the team since then.
Yeah.
I still carry the team tag in my username because I'm just like, they were great people.
Yeah.
But they went off and they did great things. So, It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it worked out because the job I got afterward was good, and I was able to start live streaming more, like 2021 and 2020. But also 2021 was when I like started streaming a lot of things that weren't Splatoon,
Mm-hmm.
just because like I had more time and I didn't feel like I had to constantly be mechanically grinding because I wasn't comp active. I was
Yeah.
still playing, when lands came back, I was still doing that. I've been to a good number of lands, and a lot
Yeah.
of it is because even though I am, for better or worse, retired, I still
Retired.
like to play the game
Yeah.
competitively. So I play it at lands and I do my flips, and then I go back to not playing comp again for 3 more months.
Yeah, like as people call them, like casual competitive players sort of thing.
I'm semi-retired.
Semi-retired. Yeah.
Every time I show up for lands, people are like, "Oh, Vic, you play the game comp?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did that for like 4 years, and then I kind of stopped doing that actually."
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
remember
do these things for like
I remember
goodness.
you made a post of like getting second in a LAN a bit ago, and I think I showed it to my friends, and some of them were like, "Oh wait, Vic plays comp."
I was gonna like pull out. I don't know if I have one of our silly little trophy cards nearby or not. Oh, yay! This is why I keep all my important things nearby. Wait,
Yay!
see? Hooray! Oh, it's probably
Nice.
backwards, but it says
No,
Fish Apple
it's
4 second place.
no, it's the right way around. It's good,
Oh, nice.
but
It's like a
yeah.
little laminated thing, so don't
Mm-hmm.
worry. Oh,
Yeah.
it's at Metro Ink.
Yeah, that's
Whee!
awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm. Okay. A few.
Also, one of my friends is like a super cracked e-leader player, so I get to play with a leader. So yay! So
Yay.
good.
Yeah. Okay, a few trivia questions now.
Hmm.
Favorite weapon in every Splatoon game?
Splatoon 1, Dual Squelcher. Splatoon 2, Machine. Splatoon 3, Junior. Junior has my heart.
Right.
Such a little guy. Dude, when Custom Junior came out, oh,
Oh boy.
if I go back to my weapon history for that season where Custom Junior came out, the chart, like, I'm so good at being a flex player. I love playing everything, but just for that chunk of time, I was like, nah, I gotta be Junior now. I have to be
Yeah.
Junior again. And that was a slippery slope because after C Junior shenanigans, I started playing way more V Junior and never escaped.
Yeah. Uh, favorite game mode?
I love clams, which I know is like sacrilegious to some, but clams has always been very good to me. I feel like it's the best mode in a competitive setting because of how
Yeah.
much variety you can have with how you go about it.
Yeah.
And also, it's just super fun to commentate because
Mm-hmm.
you have to like pay attention to everything going on.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I have faith that if we ever get like another mode, it'll probably be wild and chaotic like clams, and that would make me very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see if we'll get a new mode in Splatoon 4 and like what exactly it'll be. It'll be fun, I know that for sure. Favorite meme about you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I have multiple. I'm trying to think. There's a couple of really. I've never really gotten tired of screaming and yelling about Camp Triggerfish, but that's not like Splatoon 2 relevant anymore. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
that's not Splatoon 3 relevant anymore, I should say. I'm not like able to be like, haha, yell about Camp Triggerfish because it's just not a thing that's around to this day. I would
Yeah.
say, I feel like a lot of the memes and shenanigans I've had in S3 have been more community level niche
Yeah.
instead of like content level visible, which is something I could fix, but I just kind of haven't done,
Yeah.
perhaps. But it's not easy.
Yeah, there.
I'm trying to think, like, there's so many silly things that happen, but
Yeah.
like sometimes you're not always hyper aware of everything that's going on about you all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the whole Golden Banner thing was probably like one of the biggest
Okay,
ones.
yeah. Okay, I guess I consider that less of a meme and more of a spiritual personal journey.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I finally won.
Yeah.
I do miss making endless gambling videos though. I was really
Mm-hmm.
excited to hoard all my money for a May Fest. We're not getting one. So like I'm just gonna spend it all at the very end of the season and see if I can get another golden banner before they all disappear again until next spring.
Yeah.
You're right. That probably is pretty top tier. I have really enjoyed on the fly, like what I usually would do is I would stare at the stuff that I get from the shop machine and improv reasoning on how it's going to imply that I'm getting a golden banner very soon.
Those were
And
so funny, just watching those.
it's
Live.
but I mean like listen, you have to have the hope. You have to have the cope.
Of
Otherwise the
course.
golden banner's not gonna show.
Of course. And it did show eventually. It took
I
like
had two.
it
I
took
had
like
two in one go.
yeah. It took like 2-3 years, but you got it eventually.
I think I got it like what, like a few months ago?
Yeah.
Finally. But you know what? That was on my Splatfest seed. My regular seed could be ready to go. There could be another one there right now that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Every time I play Salmon Run, I take my golden banner off, if I remember correctly, because I don't want Mr. Grizz to think that I don't want golden scales anymore. Because I was always like, listen, if I can't get a real golden banner, I can at least get one from Grizzco. So if I'm wearing a golden banner, Mr. Grizz isn't gonna give me any golden scales because I already have what I wanted. So don't worry about it, Grizz. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Keep piling those scales up, buddy, please.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite Splat band?
I like Chirpy Chips. I'm the S1 girly.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
When they brought her in to be a shopkeeper in this game, I was like, wait a minute, I know who you are.
I was actually surprised. I didn't know because I didn't play Splatoon 1, so I didn't know who Harmony was. And then like just randomly one of my teammates was like, I think cuz yeah, he was like he played like since the beginning, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's so cool that like Harmony is like has like an in-game model." And I'm like, "Wait, who's Harmony? Who is she aside from just being a shopkeeper?" And she's like, "Oh, she's part of one of the Splat bands in Splatoon 1." Like, "Oh, okay." And then, not long after that, we got the trailer that had the new Chirpy Chips songs. I'm like, "Oh, well, what do you know? There she is." But yeah.
We're eating.
Sorry?
I said we're eating.
Oh,
I mean, not
yeah.
anymore, but like back then when everything was just coming out. So much good stuff.
Yeah, that season was probably like one of the better seasons, I would say. But yeah, I guess just to conclude, like what kind of things would you want to say to like newer upcoming content creators who want to like get out there and start making content and meeting people?
Making stuff. Don't be afraid to take advantage of the shorts algorithm, but just know that good amount of shorts that you make, they can lead to subscribers, but they don't always lead to people who are gonna watch videos. So always keep that in mind. Like if you can find a way to connect them together, it can help out a lot. Like if you're already making videos, turn some of the pieces of those videos into little bite-sized short pieces. Chuck them onto TikTok. Check them on YouTube. I know. You hear TikTok and you go, ugh! But like, there are multiple platforms. You can take advantage of them. It can help. You never know where maybe something that doesn't do well on YouTube could do well somewhere else. Instagram, Reel, TikTok, Short. That's not a thing. TikTok is shorts inherently. I mean, like, don't be afraid. Like, if you see other people making content with Splatoon in this community and you like what they do, don't be scared to reach out to them, because if both of you together have like a few hundred subscribers, right, and you bring like your audiences together and you bring each other together, you both might be able to grow simultaneously. And even if nothing actually happens, like growth-wise, you befriend more people and it makes the content creating experience more enjoyable. Because in my opinion, it's always more fun when like you have like these time capsule type videos.
Yeah.
A lot of like you remember Squidman, right? When he used to make stuff all the time before
Yeah.
he got like into the world of teaching and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his videos are time capsules of when we used to all hang out together all the time. And it's beautiful and great to have those memories. A lot of the videos I make that are like solo, like, you know, stream clip type videos, I make them so I don't forget how I was feeling about things at a time in the past. I want to be able to look back and see how much fun I was having, laughing about the video game, laughing with my audience.
Yeah.
You know, those memories would get lost otherwise, because
Yeah.
I stream a lot and not all of it gets to stay in my brain. Like, make stuff because you want to. Don't make stuff because you have to. Make things that will make you or other people happy, even into the future. And that way, whether or not your channel grows a lot, you at least are left behind with something really nice that you can always look back on.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're just about ready to wrap up. But yeah, that's thank you for coming on, Vic. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I very excited that I got to do this with you. It's a lot of fun, and like, you know, you were also one of my biggest inspirations. So to get to like actually be able to interact with you, like, it's so surreal. Like, I didn't think I would even be able to be in the same like vicinity as
People, don't be afraid to ask. Woo.
Yeah.
If I have free time, I'll do stuff. Like, I mean, obviously, I vibe check first because, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's always necessary. A lot of people are great people. Like, numbers don't really mean much in the end. Like, people matter much more than numbers.
Yeah.
Like, people can have like a really good vibe and be really small, or a really good vibe and be really big. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's not playing a Squid Game. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's not much more to say, but yeah, that's that'll be all, I guess. Happy 10-year anniversary, Splatoon, and thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.